how did the 49ers get here, considering they have a roster that they deemed Super Bowl worthy?
There's a lot of different directions we can go, Grant, but I was just looking through the schedule out of curiosity, and the NFL is about winning close games, especially when you're playing against good teams. When you get to the playoffs, those games are going to be close. They're 2-5 in games decided by 7 points or less, Grant.
Oof.
That's it right there.
Yeah.
You look at those games, their inability to win games that are close have really been their bugaboo all season long. No consistency there. They blow out teams, they get blown out,
Yeah.
but anytime it's been tight, 7 of those games, they have not been able to execute on a regular basis. And you look at teams in the past, 49er teams in the past that have been successful, they win those tight games. And those tight games are ultimately what make or break a season. It's hard to win in the league, regardless of who you're playing. It started out good because they beat Philly in that first game that was super tight. But after that, it's kind of fallen apart on them. So I'm going to go with the inability to win those close games.
I'm with you. I totally agree. Let's examine. Let's take a deep dive into the stat you just presented. So they lost to Green Bay. No shame in that. It's Aaron Rodgers. It happens. He's done that to a lot of people. You lost to Green Bay. That's what are they? The 1 seed, the 2 seed right now?
1 seed, yeah.
The 1 seed. Okay, you lost to the 1 seed. What were the other close games?
They lost to Seattle. Twice, I think.
We're gonna come back to Seattle. Let's come back to that. No, so you lost to Tennessee. All right, that was hard, and it really, really stung. But Tennessee's a really good team. That's a playoff team. You lost to Arizona twice. That's a really good team. That's a playoff team. To me, I love your stat. To me, though, I'm just gonna go with losing to Seattle twice. You should have swept Seattle. At minimum, split. That team sucks. That's the clinical term for what they are. They're terrible. They're not a playoff team. You should be. That team has nothing going for them at all other than Russell, like a disinterested Russell Wilson and a 75-year-old Pete Carroll. Like, you should have beaten them once. And in the first one, you just like totally gave it away for no reason. And the second one, you were there at the goal line. You had it. And you let Carlos Dunlap knock down the last pass. Like, that's why you're in this predicament, because you couldn't beat Seattle, who, like, look at their record. A lot of people have beaten Seattle. Like, the NFL has
everybody else
on Seattle. They have run a train on Seattle. Don't look that up if you're younger than 25. But I'm just saying, like, you couldn't beat Seattle. That's on you. That's on you. I get you lost to Arizona, even with Colt McCoy. That's a good team. That's a good-ass team. Seattle? Nah. Seattle sucks. You lost because you gave up, like, a fake punt. That's on you. That's on you.
That's 2 of those games, by the way. That's 2 of those games right there. So, yeah, Seattle's a big one. Arizona. And really, the tiebreaker, the reason they're losing the tiebreaker is because of those in-division games. So, yeah, those games were huge, and they were all close.
Yeah, I mean, there's no shame to losing to Tennessee, even though they were down. I mean, it was cross-country. It was a Thursday night game. There's definitely shame in losing to Seattle. They suck. I'm sorry. It's not what they used to be. You should have picked on them, and I think, outgained them both times. Like, you beat yourself against Seattle twice. That's your fault. And there's consequences.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just crazy to think about all the close games that they've had throughout the season, how they've shot themselves in the foot repeatedly. They just can't figure it out, man. And good teams figure it out.
And so so you couldn't beat the worst team in your division in 2 tries. So now go beat the best team. That's where you're at. If you could have just beat the worst team in your division once, you had 2 tries. Once, you wouldn't be in this situation, but you couldn't. So now you got to go beat the Rams. And you've beaten them 5 times in a row. But Niner fans, they'd be lying if they said they weren't a little apprehensive and a little scared right now, right? They'd be lying.
Well, yeah. Okay. So how weird is that, right? Like, let's say they beat the Rams. You're 2-0 against the best team and 0-2 against the worst team. It's like, just take care of business.
No, I know. Because I think the Niners essentially feel like the Rams are soft and that they just match up well because they're not soft. Debo's not soft. Kittle's not soft. It's not really, I mean, they're kind of a tough team. So maybe it's a good matchup. We'll dive into it. But yeah, that's why they're here, because they couldn't beat freaking Seattle. Luis, thank you very much. King Logan says, finally able to catch a live show. Love the content and keep up the great work, guys. Go Niners. Thank you, King.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I like calling people King. Thank you, King. Start Trey. It's not hard. Love that. Says McVay is confident Cam Akers will make his return to the field this week against the 49ers. What impact, if any, do you think he'll have? Man, that's a big unknown. How could we honestly say that one?
Yeah, I personally wouldn't expect a big impact. I mean, he's coming off of an Achilles tear. It's not, what is it, 6 months removed from an Achilles tear?
Yeah, like,
explosion. I can't.
5 carries, that'd be great.
Right. That's kind of where I'm at. 5 to 6 touches, maybe.
That'd be great.